Are we making any headway? I would say not really. And I would say this because New Zealand first campaigned on getting rid of the RSE guidelines. And in April last year, they did get rid of the RSE guidelines. But we'd already been saying for a couple of years the guidelines are just one thing at policy level. What is going on in the classroom hasn't changed. And just to prove that, like there is a couple of things that have changed, but I was on the Sexual Wellbeing Aotearoa website today, and they are the people that was family planning. So they're the ones that take the girls from school and go and get abortions and give them contraception without parents knowing, and they do most of the training resources that go into schools. And on their website, it says, I had to find out about LGBTQ relationships through social media. I have no idea how to navigate being queer, even though I knew from a young age. It's important to, continue sex ed throughout school. And they're criticising the changes, saying there's very little information about sexual orientation and LGBTQ. What they're happy about is that the lesson plans are prescriptive, which is concerning, and that consent is being taught from year zero. Now, that's not sexual consent, but it's soft consent. But my other concern around it is you've got to look a lot wider than what's in the sex education, because it's sexuality education, not sex education. But, we talk about the surveys going on in schools, the pressure that kids are under to conform, the absolute privacy against telling the parents what's going on. Counselling is funneling them down the path of gender, social transition, and things like that. And then schools are still referring out to gender clinics. So we have not fixed the problem. We have changed a minute part of it, but I believe it's created a whole nother problem where they're more hidden, they're more private from the parents, and we get calls every day. And I'll just say before I finish on that there's a whole nother big thing that in the last few months the parents that have been contacting me are actually more afraid of than the LGBTQ stuff, and that is the culture stuff. That is the getting shoved down
Yeah.
your throat, everything about the Māori from people that have no Māori blood and their kids aren't, and they might be immigrants, and they're saying why. And that is the big thing, because again, it's like the LGBTQ and it's like the COVID. If you say something, you're a something. You're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a homophobe, you're an anti-vaxxer. My bigger concern, which is being pushed from the media and through policy, is if you disagree with what they say, you are the problem. And that creates a vacuum of people who are brave enough to say the truth.